So yes, we are back with another module of the corporate crime, that is bank fraud. So as we have discussed in the last module, that the types of corporate crimes, the scope, the nature, and what are the different manners of corporate crimes, and also we have discussed that how to investigate the corporate crimes at large. But now we are going in very deep of that corporate crimes. So as we have discussed in a last module, there are certain types of corporate crimes, like the industries crime, the banking frauds, the insurance fraud. So all that we are going to discuss in a very different module. So as a part of this module, we are going to discuss the issues of the bank fraud, so nature, scope, and challenges which are faced by the bank while this kind of frauds has been done by their customers, their clients, their stakeholders, and the all we can say that this opportunity as a criminology student, as a forensic science student, as a security study student. So what are the opportunities as in career perspective? So all that things we are going to cover in this particular module. So let's start the module. So when we want to understand that the types of fraud or types of corporate crimes in a particular banking sector, so in a very glance way, we need to understand what are the basic definition or the basic introduction of how the banking fraud we can say that yes, this kind of fraud can be categorized into banking fraud. So particularly banking frauds are significant challenge in that particular financial sector. The financial sector is currently evolving, and that financial sector is directly connected to the economy of the nation. So in any way this financial structure as a banking sector collapsed, so that will affect all the economy of the nation. So to do certain deceptive activities or to gain unlawful financial benefit via banking sector, that all unlawful activities will be we can consider that activities into the banking fraud. Now what will be why this kind of fraud take place, means the cause are very much common, which we have discussed in earlier module also. So this particular fraud can occur due to weak regulatory oversight, so their seniors are not taking too much efforts, or they are not take care of the activities of their subordinates. So this kind of activities take place. Also there are certain loopholes in the technology. Banking sector has their own technology, they have their own softwares, their own SOPs, so that maybe have certain loopholes. That's why this kind of things are take place. This kind of frauds are the internal collusion is there. That's why this kind of frauds has been take place and has been done by their own customers. So now in this particular module we are going to explore various scope, various types, and how we can investigate this kind of fraud. So this will be covered into this particular topic. So while we are learning this kind of banking fraud, so we need to understand that how this kind of how many way that this kind of frauds take place. So the types of bank frauds. So first kind of is check fraud. So suppose a person wants to pay some amount to the person B, so but he does not have sufficient fund in this particular bank, and he knows that I don't have such balance, but having this kind of intention to gain some unlawful financial benefits, they will issue the check of such amount. He knows that I don't have such kind of balance in my account, but that's why he issue this kind of check. When person B is going and he's submitting this check to his account, he will gain certain penalties. Some loan frauds. So when you guys understand that if you want to get loan from the bank, you need to submit certain documents, you need to submit certain financial history of yourself. So to gain that particular loan, you are submitting the false document, false evidence, false financial transaction. So that's why the you are submitting the false documents, you are gaining that amount of loan. And as you are submitting that false documents, false evidence, so that makes that you are not able to repay those loans. That's why you have submitted the incorrect documents. So that's how the now bank is suffering that they have given you n number of loans, but you are not able to repay that. So that will be the loss, that the loss of the bank, loss of the financial sector, and that will occur certain loss to the economy of nation. Identity theft, you can better understand that sometimes you have fake Aadhaar cards, you have dummy kind of Aadhaar cards, and your ration cards and all. So you are saying your false identity, that will considered as identity theft. And in some of the case, you need to submit the witness of yours, who will you will be take care as a witness, that yes, I know this person is able to repay your loans, repay your money. But that person are also fake. You are giving one person 1000 rupees, and please come to me with the bank and just sign that I am able to pay. And when that bank does not get money back from yourself, so they go to witness say भाई मुझे क्या पता, मुझे तो पैसे दिए थे ये करने के लिए. So that's how you are creating the identity theft. Phishing, phishing, you are giving someone false scheme that you are going to such kind of lottery, email via contact number. The person gets, like, if I am spending or investing 1000 rupees, and in terms of that I am gaining 1 crore rupees, so why I will not invest? So that's kind of phishing has been it's very common in India right now. Online fraud, phishing, OTP fraud, that's a OTP fraud. That's all considered in a white collar crime or the corporate crime. Money laundering, which we have already discussed in the earlier module. You can just go back to earlier module, we have discussed ATM and the credit card fraud. So sometimes you adulterate the chip of the ATM card, and sometimes ATM machines are also tampered. And when you submit your ATM card into that particular default ATM machine, and your all identity, your all CVV, your all password will go to the fraudsters. And that's how this kind of crime site takes place. Forex and financial fraud, that's a very good example. That once we are at somewhere, so one foreigner came to me, and she gave me some money, and I identify that monies are not that's a counterfeit money. So I tell her that it's not correct money, it's a counterfeit. So she says, I don't know, there is one forex center, I went to them, and they take my dollars and they give me this money. So how I can understand it's or counterfeit or original? So that's how forex or trade, because the foreigners are not able to understand that this kind of money is true or not. And there are certain forex centers that are running in these particular cities, and and they have all kind of network. So they used to transfer those dollars into money, and that gain invaluable unlawful way to get financial benefit. Now, what are we understand that what is banking fraud, what types of banking fraud, and we also just I will give you one definition, that banking fraud refers to illegal activities aimed at acquiring money, assets, or credit from the financial institution. So when you are getting loan from the banking or the any financial institute, that will be considered as a credit. You are taken that money. Sometimes bank used to take something as a mortgage. Sometimes it may be a residential place. Sometimes it may be any shop, any land or something. But To get that particular loan, if you have created the false document, you have created the forged document, so that will be the loss of the bank at the end. So this kind of falsification of and the manipulation of the documents that may cause the banking frauds, and this all will be considered as a corporate crime, or maybe we can consider that as a white collar crime. So this is the basic introduction of the banking frauds and the corporate crime. Now we will move ahead to the next part. Now what will be the impact of such fraud, such banking fraud? So the impact will be same as we have discussed, that banking sector is directly connected to the economy of your nation, your state. So it will be directly impact your economy. For an example, once Vijay Mallya fraud take place, so whole economy structure will collapse. Once the Harshad Mehta scam was there, so whole stock market got collapsed. So that will be affect the major economy of your country. So the economical impact will be that. Also, so for example, if there is a bank, so there was a one scam with the Nirav Modi scam with the PNB Bank. Now consider whosoever has the account in PNB Bank, they will be always in a that particular trust issue, public trust issue. So this will create a loss of public trust in that particular financial institute, or maybe into the bank, or the some some loan giving institutes. So that will be a trust issue for the public also. Increasing on the banking cost due to fraud detection measures. Now, like the fraudsters are there, so now you need to create your detection, your prevention model to detect that particular fraudsters and to prevent from that particular fraud. So now you need to spend monies. So that spending of money create the cost. That will be affecting the budget of that particular bank. That operational cost will be there. You have, if you are hiring such person, you are taking some staff for that, you are buying those machineries, your softwares, your hardwares. So that will be creating some cost to your institutes. So that will be the economical one of the economical aspect of that particular thing. Destabilization of financial markets due to large scale fraud. Just I have mentioned that it will be impact whole market of that particular from that particular scam. So that will be going to impact to whole market. Operational risk. Now if suppose that I have given you example that someone is doing fraud by phone, or the technical scam of the OTP link generation, etc. So that will be cyber security will be breached to that particular transaction. So now the data breaching will be there. So the customer which you are having trust in that particular financial institute will lose your all trust, and his personal data will be going, the sensitive data and the personal data of his or her will going to the open market. So and number of person calling her, they all are trying to use that particular Aadhaar card. For an example, in the sensitive information is or her Aadhaar card will be goes on the public market. So there are many misuse of that particular Aadhaar card. You can take some SIM card against those Aadhaar card, and you are going to do fraud with the same. Now when the investigation will take place, so you are going to be the victim. So that's how the sensitive data of the customer that will be going to in trouble. So it's operational risk. Now weak regularity complex resulting in the money laundering risk. If you have not take place of such effort, you are not having the strong SOP or the operational modules. So this will leads to the this kind of banking frauds. And the person who are very smart, who are servicing in very long time, so they are very smart, they will be doing this kind of money laundering fraud into this particular thing. So banking fraud has one of the major issue in the right now, in the present time, because all aware you are seeing, you are observing that you are going to receive one SMS, they have some link that your password needs to be updated, your banking required such document, just please click this link and upload those document. And by clicking those link, your all data, your all money will be taken by that fraudsters. So now what happens, that a true person of the, not from bank or other person is messaging you. If there is a threat kind of atmosphere in the person, they are not receiving the unknown calls. That may be one. I will give you one example, that one time one person faced the accident. So his phone got damaged. So as a one police officer, was a good police officer, he give his own phone, like just dial the number of your family member, so they can, we can give them information that this kind of incident take place with him. So now with the unknown number, is contacting his family. His family is under fear that may be a call from some fraudsters or some scammers. So they are not receiving their phone. Although at the end the police officer is very good, but we can say that in this kind of nature, this kind of person is available in the market. So the person take his bike and go to his address and ask them, "Yaar, आपके बेटे के साथ ऐसा कुछ हुआ है." You just go to hospital, and that's how the things happens. So this kind of trust issue that will be considered as a social risk. You are not having trust on anyone just because of this kind of activities, this kind of frauds, this kind of scams. So that's how the impact will be on the banking sector or the economic structure, or maybe in the social structure also. Now moving ahead with the role of investigator in a banking sector to identify, to detect, to prevent this kind of frauds. So as a student of criminology, as a student of forensic science, maybe security studies, security management, what will be your role as an investigator, as a field investigator? Or maybe if you are good enough in technology, so you can be considered as a technology analyst or something, whatever, depends upon the bank to bank. So what will be your responsibility if you are selecting for this kind of role? So you need to detect red flags. What you need to identify a suspicious transaction. If such person is a person whose background was not so good, and suddenly it's a background of transactional background, maybe the 1,000 rupees to 10,000 rupees, and suddenly he is receiving the 5 lakh, 10 lakh. So that will be the red flag for you, and you need to identify those suspicious transactions as well as the unusual patterns. Sometimes they used to follow the patterns, like for an example, I need to do some money laundering or some illegal transactions. So what I will do, I will identify 10% or the 12%. Okay, so for January I will sending my money to person 1, on the February person 2. So that will be create some unusual pattern or the organized pattern. So by this unusual pattern, the organized pattern, that maybe you can identify the, you can detect those red flags. If this person does not receive money for 12 months in that particular account, but in a one particular month he is receiving those such number of amount. So that will be the red flag for you as a forensic investigator, as a field investigator. Now we need to collect the evidence. So what will be your evidence? The financial records, that may be certain internal audits, the digital logs of the entry or entry exit point of digital point. I am talking about digital point of entry exit to any particular device or software or the system. So that will be the kind of evidence for you. So where you can collect your evidence, where you can get a trail of your investigation. Now you need to coordinate with law enforcement. It's a very common thing. If you are investigating those crimes, you need to be in touch with the what are the regulations or what are the standard operating manuals or procedures of RBI, SEC, and there are certain department or division which are working in the police. For an example, Ahmedabad police has their own economic cell, economic offense wing, EOW. So that particular wing used to work for this kind of, identify this kind of a high number of economic crime or the frauds. Again, you need to ensure the regulatory compliance. When you are doing KYC, you are asking your customer to submit those documents. You need to cross verify those documents. If he is saying that land particularly, which by making that mortgage, he demands such amount as a loan. So you need to cross verify from such departments of government that such land is such truly belongs to that particular person or not. We need to cross check, है ना? And also all the bank or the RBI or such regulatory bodies have their anti-money laundering guidelines, that you need to also follow those rules and those regulations. If such a person or your customer or your client is not following up with this kind of compliance, you may freeze their account or ask him to just come to bank and give those answers why this kind of unusual activities and the suspicious transactions is there. So that will be your role. You can interview, you can interview your employers, your customers and suspect. So all these will be if you are joining such bank as a field investigator, so that will be your role to detect and prevent this kind of fraud for your bank or the financial institute which you are going to join. So now what will be the different techniques? So we have just discussed that what would be your role, and now how you are going to investigate those kind of bank frauds. So there are such courses available as a forensic accounting. I know that there are certain specialized degrees available as a master's, as a diploma courses as a forensic accounting and financial investigations. So that will be one of the good kind of exposure if you want to join such kind of service or such kind of job. So in that particular you will be able to understand so how to trace such hidden assets or maybe fake transaction or the unusual pattern or something. You can able to analyze by learning those modules. Data analytics and AI in fraud detection. Again, the use of AI that may help you to identify or detect this kind of frauds. But again, we need to understand that the AI is which you are going to use, if it's safe enough or not, because you are going to put your customer sensitive data into that particular software or hardware. So we need to understand that in that case the data breach issue will be there. So we are not going to use that kind of thing. Instead of AI, we can use machine learning techniques, and we can create our own softwares, your own hardwares. So that will be help us. So that is the again one of the area that we need to more work upon. Cyber forensics, you can recover deleted documents or the deleted files. You can take footprints of digital footprints maybe. Surveillance and intelligence, you need to monitor your banking staff. Those the person who are person in authority who can pass your loans, your financial assets. You need to be always having vigilance over that particular persons. So that will be help you to remain in a safe mode. You can conduct certain sting operation against fraudsters. You can identify those person and you can have such a recce and the trick of that persons, and you can identify that as a fraudster, and you can submit those person or those document and evidence to the police, and now as per their protocols police can work upon that particular thing. Now beyond this, there are certain electronic banking frauds and certain miscellaneous fraud that we can just have one overview. That SIM swap fraud. Now criminals can clone their SIM cards and they can access your OTPs, one-time passwords. So now what kind of things has been take place by emerging of the technology? The fraudsters are able to cloning of your SIM card, and how messages you are going to receive on your phone. You are getting your OTPs text. So those things will already transfer or clone to the phone of that particular fraudsters. So again we need to we need to work upon the security of our SIM cards also. We are locking our phone by fingerprint, by password, by certain patterns, but are our SIM cards are safe enough? That we need to work upon that particular thing. So that are again one major area this technology based or the techie students can work upon this kind of thing. Fake banking app, there are n number of examples that fraudster used to create the fake banking applications and the website and the softwares. Now the unknown persons are not able to that is good, that is true or that is fake, and you are going to submit your all documents into website or that particular application, and this data will be going to directly the fraudsters, and they will take your money, your FDs, or whatever the things you have in your financial institutes. Man in the middle attacks. Now what happened, this kind of fraudsters and the hackers, what they used to do, there is a one line of channel between you and your financial institute, maybe considered as a bank. So now they used to intercept your way or your digital path. The digital road will be intercepted by the hackers, and they will collect all the data in that particular way which is you are transferring to your banks. So this is also a part of the technology that we need to make our digital data or the path or that particular way of transaction needs to be secure enough. So as a student, or after completing such a masters as your forensic cyber security or something, you can join bank to create them safe website or the safe application. How you can join your future jobs. Cryptocurrency funds. Now the cryptocurrency is not common to understand for a common man, and there are certain frauds has been take place by the fraudsters. Now certain miscellaneous frauds, Ponzi scheme. The picture beside this kind of my background picture, you can just observe, and that particular good example, I will select 3 people and I will ask them to select more 3 people, they are going to select more 3 people. So in that particular, the first person, the below person is to invest 1000 rupees to above person. If as a person, as a advisor of this particular Ponzi scheme, I am able to take 3000 rupees from 3 different person, I will take my share and submit my other remaining monies to the upper one, the upper sub leadership, whatever this kind of leadership they have. So that's how the below person, with the ground level person who have invested those money, they will be the victim of that particular frauds, and the middlemen are earning well, and the सबसे ऊपर, the top leader, we are earning more, but the ground level person are not going to earn everything, and that will be the victim of fake investment scheme. That will be, we can say, as a Ponzi schemes. Now fake insurance policy, you are selling those insurance policies we are not existing. Now if some agent come to my office and selling me, sir, you have such property as your research center, now if you are purchasing our policy, we will protect your property. So to protect my property, I will definitely invest in or I'm going to buy those policies. But at the end, that's a non-existing policy. When I will require those policy as a refund, or I want to use that amount, I'm not able to apply for that, because that are not existing. Sometimes the company are not exist, or the policy is not up to the mark. Pension frauds, the person who are retired enough, they are not having such technology savvy person. So you are saying them, sir, I am coming from bank, your pension is stopped because of so and so documents we are required. Please give us your documents, your fingerprints, your ATM card number, your passbook, your checkbook, and we'll submit your pension to your account. and that's why this kind of fraud has been take place. So that are certain electronic and miscellaneous frauds that we need to understand while we are studying this kind of modules. So now at the end we need to understand that what are the challenges in this particular banking fraud, how we can prevent, what are the challenges for prevention also, or sometimes detection also. So there are certain challenges that the fraudsters and the fraud techniques are evaluating very faster than the detection matters, than the prevention measures. You are not up to the mark when you are creating your software safe enough. In that particular meanwhile or that particular time, the fraudsters are moving 2 steps ahead to do certain crimes. For an example, the police and government has activated such a awareness program to not to click any link and do not share any OTP with person, and government and the police has been done this particular job very well, and most of the person who's using this kind of banking applications and website are well aware enough that they are not sharing their OTPs, they are not attending any call from bank, they are not doing some OTP, they are not sharing their OTPs. But meanwhile the fraudsters will go to the next level, they start digital arrest. So this is the one of the best example that you are not able to recover for police, for administration, for government. It's very hard to cope up with this kind of challenges, because when they are able to take care of those all matter, the fraudsters are working 2 steps ahead. Again, there are this all things help because lack of awareness. The cyber security and the cyberspace is a very new topic for the major person who are not from this particular background. So they don't have such awareness, such education for this particular purpose. So that are the biggest challenge for us. Global jurisdiction, there are no local jurisdiction boundary. You can transfer your funds to the Malaysia, to the Bangkok, you can transfer funds to the USA, UK, Swiss bank, anywhere in the world. So there is no jurisdictional boundary, makes this kind of fraud more powerful. And the investigation process or the prevention model has this kind of backlog, that this kind of jurisdictional issues. Now what will be the underreporting of fraud cases due to reputational concern? So banking will have this kind of reputational issues. Now future outlook, what we can do, we can strengthening our cybersecurity framework. We need to make sure that our application, as a bank, we need to make sure our website, our application needs to be cyber safe for the customer as well as for the stakeholders purpose. Implementation of strict KYC and machine learning compliance measures. Now what will be the anti-money laundering AML compliance? Now anti-money laundering compliance has been, there is a strict guidelines from the RBI, and for the KYC also there are strict guidelines from the RBI. Each and every bank need to be strengthened or the strict their KYC and the AML compliance to make sure you cannot onboarding such a fraudster into your banks. Educating customer about digital banking risk. When a person comes to the bank for a particular account opening procedure, you need to give him a brief lecture, you need to give him a brief introduction that what are the cyber security risks, what you not need to do. So that's how you can create awareness, the education to your customer. Enhancing global cooperation in investigation of financial crime. We need to be have good MOU, good means with our neighboring countries or the countries where such kind of money goes. So that will be again one kind of solution. or the output to prevent such banking frauds. Now, as yesterday we have discussed certain case studies, now today we are also going to discuss some case studies. Now, Nirav Modi, what will be the Nirav Modi and PNB scam? So in that particular scam, what Nirav Modi and his associates does, that they used to have such good connection and good means with the corrupted PNB officials, the managers or maybe senior managers kind of person. They have their relation, their fraud connections. And what PNB official used to do, they used to generate fraudulent LOU. LOU means the short form of LOU is letter of undertaking. So in this particular letter of undertaking, you not required to take permission for such loans. The security required as a acknowledge required. So this particular official used to sign or generate fraud LOUs, and up to that fraud LOUs, the higher official used to pass their loans. They used to give them higher credit. In that particular, how all scam has been take place, and Nirav Modi and his associate have collected all the money and they went outside India. So now, what would be the effect? The scam can cause at that time major financial crisis for PNB, because if you are given your loans, your whole banking budget will be collapsed, and there will be a financial crisis. It's a very sure thing, and severely impacting their reputation. Now with नया बंदा जब कोई बैंक अकाउंट खुलाने जाएगा, तो they will always have trust issue, so the reputation issue will be always there, leading to the significant loss for the bank. Also if the stakeholders जिन्होंने उन पे invest किया है, the investors and the stakeholders also get some major loss. After that, the Nirav Modi fled to India to avoid a prosecution, and remains currently is a fugitive of India, and the Indian government and the investigative agency are working enough to take him back. Also with the same with the Malia also. So while investigation and legal procedures ongoing against him, and those person, also the PNB officials are also arrested and prosecuted for this particular crime. Now the same case will be the Vijay Mallya. So Vijay Mallya is the owner of the Kingfisher Airlines. You guys know better. He also does the same thing. He have taken high amount of debt from the bank. There are separate banks, PNB, SBI, the various banks are there. Now after the taking of such debt, he is in the debt, but he goes into loss, so he's not able to repay those amount of loan, and at the end this is the biggest financial scandal in the India. The same things what be done by ABG shipyard fraud. In that particular ABG bank have taken the large loans, and at the end they are not able to repay the amount, and bank goes into loss. So that's how the banking frauds, and one of the good examples or the case studies of the banking frauds in the India. Now to summarize our module, we have come to the conclusion. Now you are all guys are open for question and answer, and if any doubts you have with such topic, so those person who are not attending online, they can go to the comment section, write their doubts, their questions, and my team and I will be very happy to answer your all queries. Now to summarize this module, what we have understood throughout this module, we have gone through the types of bank fraud, what are bank fraud, what are various types of bank fraud, check fraud, loan fraud, identity theft, phishing, money laundering, ATM and credit card fraud, forex and trade finance. What are the different impact, like economic impact, operational impact, what will be the role of forensic investigator as a criminology student, as a forensic student, so how you can join bank and help your knowledge to create the prevention model. We have also discussed certain kind of investigation techniques as a machine learning, data analytics, forensic accounting, cyber forensics, surveillance intelligence, etc. We have also gone through certain miscellaneous fraud and the electronic frauds like SIM swap fraud, fake banking apps, middleman attacks, cryptocurrency frauds. Also, we have discussed the how Ponzi schemes was there, fake insurance policy, pension fraud. And then we discussed some challenges which banks are getting and certain outlook, or maybe we can consider that as a futuristic solution for these particular challenges. After that, we went through some of the case studies like Nirav Modi PNB scam, Vijay Mallya Kingfisher Airline debacle, and at the end we have discussed ABG shipyard form. So that's how we have covering our one of the sector, or the one of the sub part of the corporate crime, that's banking fraud. This again, it's a very big kind of area where certain research, certain training, certain awareness and education is required. Also, the technology person needs to chip into this particular bank, and they need to help those challenges with those challenges. So now you guys are open for certain discussion, question and answer. We'll happy to answer your queries, and if not, please like, share and subscribe, and please comment down that any interesting topic that in those particular you guys are required such a lecture series. So we'll definitely, if I am not able to deliver those lectures, we'll definitely identify those person who are expert enough to discuss upon this kind of topics. So that's how we'll work. So this particular platform is created for the persons who want to learn, and this particular platform does not have any financial boundaries, any fee structures are there. You are open to discuss, you are open to ask that which kind of topic you want to discuss next. So by this we are ending our second module of corporate crime, that's banking fraud, challenges and types. Thank you guys.
Don't forget to subscribe.